Well, hello. What have I got here? This is deep dish black bean enchilada cornbread. It's another Kuma's Kitchen original. And, well, it turned out delicious. You got those crunchy cornbread in there. Then you got a layer of black bean and tomato and chili and stuff. And then another layer of cornbread, and then you've got on top of that some salsa, and then a bunch of cheddar cheese, all done in the oven until the cheddar cheese is like this golden brown and melty. And, that's delicious. Let's go in the kitchen and make some right now. So the first thing we're gonna make is the filling itself. And for that, what we've got here is got one 15-ounce can of black beans, which have been rinsed and drained. One can of tomatoes, either crushed or chopped. One kind of like this, just a bit saucy a bit. One onion, finely chopped. Up front here, we've got 2 tablespoons of chili powder, 2 tablespoons of flour. That's just to kind of thicken up the sauce a bit. 1 teaspoon each of pepper and salt, and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So first thing we're going to do is put the olive oil in the frying pan. What I want to do is I want to brown up those onions, or at least make them nice and soft. So I'm going to bring that up on medium heat. And as soon as that olive oil comes up to heat, in goes the onion. That's looking pretty good. So in goes the onion now. And I'm going to cook these onions, stirring them occasionally for about 5 minutes. I just want to soften them up a bit. They brown a little bit, that's okay too. Basically what we're going after is good soft onions for the inside our sauce here. All right, see you back here in 5 minutes. All right, that's been 5 minutes. The onions are nicely softened. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add in the beans. And stir that in a bit. I'm gonna add in the chili powder, the flour, salt and pepper. Give that a little bit of a stir, and then we're going to add in the tomatoes. Basically, before I add the tomatoes in, I just want to get that flour a little bit coated in olive oil. So I'll get it all mixed in here. Look at that, that is looking really nice. All right, now that that's all done, get the tomatoes in there. Just make sure we get all that tomato. And now, stir that in. I'm going to cook this, just simmer it a little bit for about 8 to 10 minutes. Basically, I just want it to heat everything up and also just thicken it up a little bit. So, see you back here in a couple minutes, because while this is cooking, we're going to get started on the cornbread. All right, so I'm going to turn this down to low. I'm going to actually move this over out of the way so we can have our next pot over here ready. So let's put that on low over here. And let that keep simmering. Turn this one off right now. Now what you see here I've got my big cast iron pot. This is going to go in the oven, so we want something that can go that's oven proof and deep. For making the cornbread, first let's look at the ingredients. What we've got over here, I've got 3 cups of cornmeal. Now usually I'd like to use more of a coarse ground cornmeal. Right now, due to coronavirus, I can't get a hold of that, so it's a little bit finer than usual, but still be good. So that's 3 cups of cornmeal, 4 eggs, 1 cup of milk, a half a cup of butter, a 1/4 cup of flour, 1.5 tablespoons of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of sugar. That's my usual, the unrefined cane sugar I like to use. And then over here I've got 2 teaspoons of salt. So first thing I want to do is I want to get that butter melting. And we're going to melt it in this big pot because some of it's going to stay in there, and that's going to be delicious. So I'll get that going. All right, so that's going to start melting. And while that's melting, every once in a while I just want to give this a little stir here. This is looking good. Now, let's get everything ready here. First thing I want to do is I want to take the dry ingredients here. Let's get them into a larger bowl. So I'm going to put them in this big bowl because I'm going to take the oats, or I'm going to take the cornmeal. I'm going to add the flour to it. I'm going to add the sugar and baking powder and the salt. And then just take a whisk and whisk that all together like so. That's going to get it all nice and even. Get that off to one side. Now what we're going to do is take the bowl that cornmeal was in, and that's going to be for the eggs. I'm just going to stir that butter around it. That's melting nicely. Put the eggs in here. And then whisk them up. All right, that's looking good. Let's get some of this stuff out of the way here. Now what I do is I want to just add the milk into those eggs. Give that a quick whisk. And it looks like our butter is just about melted. All right, the butter is ready. I'm leaving the heat on because we're going to get that pan, we keep this pot on there and get it even hotter. So I'm going to mix that butter into here. Now, there's going to be some butter left in the pot. That's fine. You want that in there. That's going to add extra flavor. Mix this up. I've got this left here on low heat just so that the whole pot's going to heat up more. This is looking good over here. Actually, we can just turn that heat off now. And what I do now is I want to mix this into here. All right. That is looking perfect. So now there's two more ingredients we want to bring in here. All right, so what I've got here now is I've got a half a cup of salsa sauce, and I've got 8 ounces or 230 grams of cheddar cheese grated. It's all going to go in here and into the oven. So first thing I'm going to do is, I'm going to turn that off now, put about half of the cornmeal mixture into there. That's about roughly half. And just kind of spread it around a bit. Now, on top of that cornmeal mixture, I want to put this black bean tomato mixture. Just kind of spread it around there. Oh, that is going to be absolutely fantastic. All right, just even that out across there a bit. Now, the rest of the cornmeal mix on top of that. Okay, even that out a bit, spread it across. And now, on top of this, well, I'm going to sprinkle a bit of salsa around. Doesn't have to be perfectly even across here. Just kind of like to have little patches of salsa throughout. That looks good. And then, on top of that, the cheddar cheese. Start to imagine how good this is going to taste? Oh yes, it is something. All right, that is going to go in that oven over there, which is now heating up at 390 degrees Fahrenheit or 180 degrees, or 190 degrees Celsius. That's going to go in there for 45 to 50 minutes. What we're looking for is, well, of course, the cheese is going to be nicely browned on top. But also, you're looking for the cornbread to be baked. And it's going to pull away a little bit from the sides as it bakes. Usually a cornbread that's going to crack a little bit. Hard to see that when you got cheese on top. So you just want to feel down in there a little bit, make sure it's cooked, and then we're ready to go. So I'll see you back here when this comes out of the oven. All right, that's been in the oven for 45 minutes. That is looking absolutely fantastic. Nicely browned, getting crispy. Oh, this is gonna be good. Gonna let that cool down for a while before we can serve it up. See if we can sneak a little bit on the side here. Just have a look, okay? Just cut down into here. And then let's lift that up. Get in there. Oh, look at that. So we got cornbread, and then underneath here, I couldn't get the cornbread at the bottom actually, but there's a layer of the enchilada mixture that we made, the filling. Got the cheese on top, we got salsa there. Oh, this is gonna be fantastic. All right. If you like this recipe and you want to see some more, stick around, stay on the channel. There's a lot more, and they're all original Kevin Riley recipes just made for Kuma's Kitchen. Also, make sure you subscribe because there's a new one coming out every Monday. Once a week, I publish a new original video on here. And if you're not yet a patron of Kuma's Kitchen, consider becoming one because, you know, for as little as $3 a month, you're helping to support the creation of these recipes, and also you get all kinds of cool stuff in your Patreon feed, which nobody else sees. All right, go make this, enjoy, and make cooking fun again with Kuma's Kitchen.